Welcome back to another episode. Iggy here with Faltacunlimited. Today we are traveling back in time. We are going back to our roots and we are foam pressing a pancake style two-piece holster for the Glock 19. Now, that's all it is. So it's Glock 19, suppressor height sights, and threaded barrel. And you know what? It's been a hot minute since we've done a simple build just like this. Now, I have pancake style molds from Pale Horse for outside the waistband, but lo and behold, I have nothing for left-handed. So we're going to go ahead and do the right-hand or left-handed version. So we're going to go ahead, block this out. It's only a couple steps. We're going to throw on a socket for the threaded barrel, and we're going to go ahead and make an outside the waistband. I'll show you just how I block it so it actually looks like it's beautifully vacuum pressed. So, without further ado, let's travel back in time, and let's do a simple pancake outside the waistband, which is perfect for any beginner out there. This is pretty much the perfect way you want to learn when you're just, they're the perfect project that you want to do when you're just learning how to bend Kydex. So let's get to it. Let's bend some plastic, let's have some fun, and let's do it. Come on.
Come on.
And if you're new to the channel, you will know, or you'll notice that I attach sockets to the firearms or the molds. That way to simulate threaded barrels, yada, yada, yada. So if you're wondering how I do that, I grab these easy locks, part number 400-008, and these are right on Amazon, and it's a 832 thread, the same thread that all the hardware that these holsters use anyway. And so what I do is I drill the muzzle out, mount it in it. It doesn't have to be centered, but you know, the more centered it is, the better it will work. And then I take a socket that actually fits the outside of the barrel in it. So that right there. And if you notice, this is, you know, a pretty long one. You're talking a 2-inch socket right here, a little over 2 inches. And there's going to be a reason for it, and I'll show you that later. But our holster is going to end like right about, you know, maybe an inch after that. So we got plenty of room to play with. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this 8/32, throw it right there. It's got obviously a washer on it. And there we have a threaded barrel for the 19. A couple other steps that we're going to have to take is we have to block out for the slide stop. We have to block out for the rail, which you don't really have to do because there's no slots on except for that one, but it is always good to do that. And then obviously the suppressor height sight. So let's go ahead and do that. Now it doesn't say if it was a Gen 5, but a Gen 5, the difference between the molds, it'll have ambi right here. So, but as being left-handed, we're going to have the sweat shield on this side, and on this side there's going to be, let's see here, a blocking like this if we want, and that'll actually cover that right there. And with it being left-handed, don't forget to block out for the magazine release. So I'm going to go ahead, let's get a piece, there we go, for suppressor height sights. I'm just going to go ahead and tape that right there. And now we're just going to do a few layers along with, we're going to add on the rail cover here. Right. And 5 layers. And just in case, we're going to put blocking on this side. So we'll throw that right here, and then there has to be a build-up right there so it doesn't do this. Just needs a little bit more blocking right there. There we are. And then just secure that down. Yeah, I like to do 3 on that with this particular style. And then we'll move on to this side. And like I said, if we have this right here just like so, it's automatically going to block out what we need to block out because we're going to be cutting right here anyway. So might as well do that thing. You got 2 birds, 1 stone, or 2 birds, 1 blocking. Alright, second to last thing, put this right here so it doesn't flop on us. Second to last thing is we need to block for that. Now, I think maybe after this, what I'll do is I'll get some steel stick and I'll build it up and make it my own. But if you can't really see, it's right here is where you need to block. So now I have, blocking from over the years that I've made, and I just got to find the right piece, because I know I have a piece of aluminum like that. I will be able to go right there and block that out if we need it. So might as well. And we'll do it just like that. And remember, it's getting cut this way, so it won't be too bad. Or you could always cut around it, but this will be just perfect. Now, the only thing left is the retention plate. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll trace it on the retention plate with a special marker, which is called a tracing marker. It's a deep reach marker. And I'll go ahead and trace out what I need. And like I said, I'll show you why I did the longer one. And this is, we're coming up on the reason why I did this so large. So this is going to fit right here like so. You want it to have a little bit of tension. You don't want it just to like fall out on its own. But line it up where it needs to go. And then what I do is I take the smaller tape, line up the sight channel, and I pinch down on it like so. Okay. Still make sure it's where it needs to be. Take a nice chunk of the thicker stuff. Lay that down right across the whole thing, and that gives you more area to hold it. And we'll go ahead mark that. Mark or mount that rather. So there we go. So now we are ready for the foam press. And again, let me just verify. Glock 19, black, left hand, 1.5 loop, suppressor height, sides, threaded barrel. So that's it right there. Now, if you notice, I didn't come up here. No need to. You don't need to have your retention coming out to here. That's just going to make it unnecessarily wider, right? So we're still going to put our retention right here, and then we'll have our wings right here. So that way you're not going to have a mile wide holster. We could just go ahead and do this. So now let's cut the material. So we have one piece of black here, okay? And it's okay if it extends past, you know, or if it doesn't extend past, you don't want that, or you don't need, it's not that important. As long as it's past what you know you're going to be. So we're going to be probably going to cut it in this area right here. So there's plenty of room for a full sweat shield and this. And you got to make sure you got plenty of room for each side to mount that, to mount the wings. And I'll show you also. Alright, so now we got scrap right here. So we don't need that anymore. And I think I have, yep, I do. Then I have this piece right here. Actually, you know what we can do is, we're going to do it like this. Alright, and then what we're going to do, what's going to go a little bit thinner on this one. It's going to go to there, it's going to go to here, so just kind of make this more uniform. Alright, now we have our bottom. That's going to go on top. This is considerably longer. Alright, it's going to go here. Reason being, you grab it, and when you push it out, you hold it, and then you put, pretty much, you grab it, you put the foam on top, and then you hold it when you push down. I'll show you exactly how I do it, that way you're going to get good definition. So, now, we just have to heat this up.
Ready to go. We have the bottom on this press and the top in this press, and the motorcycle jack is all set and ready to go. And I do apologize, my microphone died, and I don't remember what I said right here. Now here's a little tip for you guys. Take your mold, and once it's above your press, put it in the orientation that you're going to put it. Because I can't tell you how many times that I've actually made the wrong side holster with like a special print or something like that. So if you're making a left-handed holster, orient the mold so that it's going to go in the press the same exact way the holster's built. That way, you know you're not going to be messing up any of the prints if there is any. But this is a good little trick that I use. And again, I'm sorry my microphone died. I have no idea what happened, but it is what it is. What we're going to do is throw down the hot foam. Now I'm grabbing the bottom piece right here, throwing that down, grabbing the mold, placing it on the holster, or the material that the holster is going to be, in the orientation that I want. And right there, I just sprayed it with some Ren oil. And I walked my happy little ass off and grabbed the top piece and kneeling down and stretching it over where I want it, going side by side. And you notice it's not going to shrink right there as I put the top plate on and then slide it right in. Now that is in the press, we are good to go. Again, sorry about the microphone, but since that is in there, let's go ahead and grab another order and build that. Might as well. We got about 15 minutes to kill, so let's do it. So we went ahead and built this guy. This is a standard 365, SIG 365, and blood red carbon fiber. And as you can see, 1 3/4 steel foamy, and I put his business logo on there. So luckily it's a local friend of mine, and I was able to knock this order out in between doing that. But here we have the Glock 19 out of the press, and it is looking absolutely pisser. So let's get going on that because I just want to get this holster out. And this whole no microphone thing is pretty annoying. Right, here we are. We're going to go ahead and grab our mold, throw it against it. Technically, you really don't need it for this point because it's not a light-bearing holster, so we know where the clips are pretty much going to go, but we're going to need that for future reference anyway. So we want to get a good grip purchase on this, so you also don't want to hit your knuckles when you're doing this. So a good rule of thumb is to, pretend you're grabbing it and mark just underneath your knuckles. So now we're just kind of setting up where we want it to go. And right here, we're going to check out where the ejection port is. That way we know where the RMR can, its maximum point. This right here is a contour gauge. We're going to set it up so that it is going from line to line, pretty much from, like I said, underneath your knuckles, and make sure that is perpendicular to the slide. Hold it in place and then mark it with your pencil. But don't do it like I did and mark it in the wrong spot. So I'm going to have to redo it right here. Let's do that real quick. After I fix it, of course. And there we go. That's better. All right. So we're going to draw the new marks. And of course, we are going to just make it a little bit wider, and that's just for my sake. We're going to draw the top of the sweat shield here, go down the optic cut, and go right into the other side of the holster. And then we're going to figure out where the line is that goes down to the trigger guard. There we go. Just a quick little line right there. And the next step is going to be to grab your belt clips, which we're going to do right here. And line the top of the belt clip up with the mark you just put down. And then you're going to trace the outside and where that hole is. And then rinse and repeat on the other side. Trace the outside right there. Mark the hole. And then you're going to grab your drill. There we go, right there, your drill indicators. And mark all the spots you want to drill in your drill guide. Do this on both sides. And then finish what the rest of the holster is going to look like. Like I said, about an inch after the gun, or after the muzzle. Right there. And then connect the lines. And then our retention points. And we are ready to drill. And as you can see, I actually cut some of the excess material off to make this next step easier. So we're going to take our drill guide with 2 clamps, or a clamp, whatever you want. I use 2 just so it holds a little bit better. And then you clamp it on, and then you go ahead and use your 1/4-inch drill bit and drill those holes. And do 4 hits right here. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll flip it and do the other side. There we go. Set 1 clamp. And going to set the other. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Next is take your chamfering bit to deburr it all. And then go ahead and set the eyelets on the side with the sight channel. And that's the countersink bit, sorry. So we're cleaning both sides and take care of it. All right, now with the eyelets set, we're not going to do that side. But what we are going to do is grab a very small flathead screwdriver and just push it in any hole you see and separate those two. And this is where that rem oil comes in play. So these two should snap up right apart, and then pull your mold out. Now you're ready. Oh, forgot a piece right there. Got it. And now we are ready to drill the retention holes. And once those retention holes are drilled, you can go ahead, add that hardware, and then set the eyelets in that. But as you can see here, I put 1 eyelet in, and I'm setting a clamp on. That way the 2 materials, the 2 layers don't clamp, don't clamp. The 2 layers don't move on each other as you're drilling, so the holes stay lined up. So hole number 1 and hole number 2. And then go ahead, clean your holes, blow out the inside, and then add your hardware. All right, so I just grabbed the hardware. So we're using 1/4-inch Chicago screws, so the 1/4-inch nut, threaded post. And then on top of that, use about a 1/2-inch rubber is what I'm using on these ones, because this is from the reel, so they're a little bit softer. And then the screws are 0.4375 from the bottom of the head. So it's just under a 1/2 inch. And we'll throw those in there. And then you could set your eyelets on that side, on the trigger guard side. And then we're going to go ahead and cut it all. But before you set those eyelets, make sure you blow in there so there's no debris.
Alright, and so pretty much it's just a quick session of seeing what works and whatnot, but it tightened up this right here, and we're going to go ahead and clean out the edges, but let's see. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, and we got a good purchase, we're not hitting anything. Blocked out, open. And what do you know? It's a Gen 5 mold. And perfect. Pop. Alright. So let's go ahead. Oh, there you go right there. And let's finish everything up. edges. You know, it's funny, I posted a picture on my Facebook, and I was on a group where people are looking for a holster, and this guy's like, listen, you need to round your edges more, and then people would buy them. And I couldn't help but laugh. So every time I round edges, I think of this very interesting keyboard warrior. So, anyways, let's clean it. And we are almost done. Nothing special right here. But I'm going to go ahead, quick spray, spray, spray. And we still have technically like 3 more steps to do. And each step has a sub-step. So there's a few more minutes left. Now we're only in this like so far maybe half hour, something like that. You know, obviously it takes longer to film, but these really doesn't, you know, no excuse. Well, I've been doing them for so long that they don't really take much time. But I'll tell you, when I first started making holsters, it was crazy, you know, because you're new to it, so you're learning everything. So this right here would take me like an hour and a half, and you know, I got it down to 20 minutes, a half hour for just this. And then an inside the waistband holster used to take me about an hour. Then I got it down to a half an hour. Then I got it down to about 10 minutes. And then on vacuum, I could do one holster like every 3 to 7 minutes, depending on style. But then again, it's very rare that somebody orders a no bells and whistles, plain Jane stuff. So that's like the stuff I bring to gun shows. So, but anyways. All right. Now, let's see here. Now we gotta bend the ears. So grab your dummy or the real gun, throw it in there, and let's bend them. Now, you can do this 2 different ways. This is the most easiest I have found. So, normal vise, okay? Protective layer in it, because you're going to be clamping on the eyelets. Throw the eyelets in, okay? Heat up just above the eyelets, but that's number 1. So once you heat it up, you fold it, blow it, cool it, blah, blah, blah. Or if you don't have a vise, just heat up both sides like normal, just grab and bend, but this is a good way to do it. Air hose at the ready. And remember which hand it is. So we got the shorter end towards me, which means we're bending away. As you don't want to bend a left-handed holster like a right-handed, because then you just look like an idiot. Sweat shield's on the wrong side! And if you notice, I'm not keeping in one spot. We're going back and forth pretty quick. Alright. Once you get to an angle you like, both sides, rinse and repeat. Two more things left to do, and one of them is cutting these. And after that, you guessed it, mounting them. And then we're shipping it. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to cut these. What I'm going to do is, you can see the ejection molding line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that line and I'm going to put it right to about here. And I'm going to cut diagonal across it. That way you have it closer to the body. So I'll show you how I do that. Alright, and after that is said and done, this, oh, I had a burr right there I missed. Alright, this is how they look. So they're rounded on the edges, and they are angled like that for her pleasure. So now all we have to do is use all the hardware and get it together. So quarter inch, quarter inch, quarter inch, quarter inch. And because you beveled these, they are now side specific. Now I started doing these for two reasons. One, gets the holster closer to the body, and two, it is 1,000 times easier to get your belt through when you don't have wings that are a mile long. Alright, so let's get some magic blue juice on there. The bend goes on the inside. So it's going to be this one right here. Or not the bend, but the chamfer that you just cut will go on the inside. And just get it started. And I like to position it. I try to make it as flush to the top as possible. There we go. Move on to the next side. Just get it started. Get it started. Position it. Oop. Position it where you want it. Okay. All right. Here is G19 OWB left-handed, pancake style, and let's do one more step. So this holster came out absolutely amazing, and I have to put a light right there. But anyways, the only thing I don't like about it is it's wrong-handed because I obviously am right-handed. But we have the good old click. And if you don't know what causes the audible click on Kydex holsters, it is the holster expanding to get to where it needs to go, for the firearm getting to where it needs to go, and then snapping in place. That audible click is the snap around the trigger guard of where everything is going to be. So, on that note, this one is heading out to Missouri, I believe, and yeah, it's going to be heading out tomorrow morning. I am stoked that, honestly, I'm starting to move through orders, and things are getting better. So, outside the waistband, left-hand pancake style, no bells and whistles other than threaded barrel and suppressor height sights. So, this came out absolutely perfect. I can't ask for a better holster. So, again, obviously, this is kind of going back to our roots. No vacuum form for this. We had to do it just old school style. So we're looking at just two-piece pancake on foam, which is the perfect holster to start off with as a beginner. So if you are just getting into the business, definitely start with easy stuff. Non-light bearing, because that's when you're just going to waste a whole bunch of money on just trash material. So just keep in mind when you're learning, learn the basics first. Don't run before you walk, and just you'll get there. It takes time. You're never a success overnight. I'm still not a success, and I've been doing this for 7 years. So I'm just further ahead than some people. So and again, the particular blocking that I do allows this full front end right here as one piece, so you don't have a whole bunch of different planes. I personally think it just looks cleaner, and it obviously mimics the vacuum forms that you get. So on that note, every single thing that you see in these videos is purchased from holstersmith.com. So you literally can get everything I get right on their website. I'll actually put it right here so you can go on. You click this link, it'll bring you right to their website. And I can't thank them enough. So we're approaching another giveaway. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have a pale horse mold that I have a duplicate of. I got one damaged in the mail, but I fixed it. And I just reached out to him, hey, just so you know, blah, blah, blah. And the guy is awesome enough to send me a new one. Technically, I don't need it. So maybe I'll give it away. It's a $110 mold. So maybe I'll give it away, or, I could sell it, but I just don't feel right. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do that. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. But as far as this goes, it's a little after 10 o'clock at night. Like I said, 2 orders down in this video, and I'm going to move on to the next one. So I appreciate all you guys for watching, and good luck, and build some awesome stuff. So I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, and by the way, If you are looking to purchase a holster, you can also go right here. That's my website. I do have a little bit of lead time, but I explain it, and I'm very open in these videos of exactly what's going on. So, but on that note, I will see you guys later. I'm moving on to the next one. Okay, see you later. Bye.